How's it going, everybody? Today we have a very interesting video for you guys. This is kind of an AMA and just get to know us kind of video. I feel like when we started YouTube about 2 years ago, which is the whole reason we're doing this, we just jumped right in. We started with our first video at Epcot doing food and wine, and we never really did an introduction to who we are. And yeah, so I feel like at this point, let's just talk a little bit about us. We asked you guys to go ahead and submit some questions, and we got a lot. I don't think we're going to answer all of them. There was just a lot more than we originally anticipated.
Thank you, which was awesome to see.
Yeah, for real. And then also, I think there was a lot of overlap on questions too. So we are going to answer kind of what we can, and hopefully you guys get to know a little bit about us. But we'll start off, I guess, with just a little bit about who we are, and then we'll go into some of those questions that you guys asked that are kind of a little bit more personal, and then we'll kind of get into like parks and vlogging and stuff like that. But just a little bit of background. I grew up in a small town outside of Chicago, about 45 to 50 minutes from the city. And I say small town, but really we had about 4,000 students in our high school. So
nice size suburb.
Yeah, it was a suburb, but you know, I feel like we oftentimes tell people we're from Chicago because they don't really know other towns in Illinois. So I'm not really from Chicago, but I'm close to Chicago, close enough. Unlike Nicole, she'll tell you where she's from, a lot closer. So yeah, but I grew up there. I played baseball growing up, played in high school a little bit, stopped playing about halfway through, I think going into my junior year, and then went on to college to become an engineer at first, and absolutely did not like calculus. So I stopped that. I loved math, by the way, loved math, loved physics, did not like calculus. I didn't like that you really didn't have these like specific answers. I like to have a definitive answer. I didn't like limits and things like that. If you know calculus, then you know. But I switched over to business and ultimately got a master's in business analytics. Not really doing anything with that right now, but really liked it at the time. I wanted to work in the medical field and do like research for like cancer and other things, and really use the like big numbers and big data to kind of get, you know, that kind of information and then transport it to the people that it needed to be in the hands of, but never ended up happening. And here I am now doing something completely different, and then also doing some YouTube stuff as well. So that's a little bit about me. I also did grow up, like I said, in Illinois, but I was born in Atlanta. That's kind of a fun little fact, but didn't spend much time there. I think we moved before I was even 2 years old, so wasn't something that I spent much time knowing any of the area. So pretty much through and through, I've been a Chicagoan my entire life, or an Illinoisan for that matter.
There you go. Well, unlike Dillon, I grew up a little bit closer to the city. You know, where I'm from, like we kind of call them like villages of Chicago. So technically we have like our own like zip code, but we could also write Chicago. I have a brother and a sister. They are younger than me. They're twins. They're 24 years old. We're exactly 3.5 years apart, which was cute growing up because we'd always do like a half birthday present on my birthday for them, and then on their birthday, a half present for me. So I feel
Real
like
quick, she loves her half birthday.
I love my half birthday.
She's like, everyone should celebrate half birthdays.
May 21st, half birthday.
I never did.
I'm going to do it for our kids all the time. So you're going to have to now.
Okay.
I bought you a cake for your half birthday the first year we were dating. And your dad was like, what is this?
Probably.
And I was like, it's a thing in our family.
Yeah.
So my mom, my brother, and my sister, they still live in Chicago. And my dad passed away 2020, early COVID. He went into the hospital, like not from COVID, from a stroke, and then it turned into COVID, and he's been gone like 4 years now, which is crazy to think it's been that long. I have a bachelor's degree. I went to school in Illinois, and then I moved back home, and I kind of moved around Illinois, especially once I met Dillon. I moved a bit out of the city, more towards the suburbs, and that's just like a little bit about me.
So yeah, that's a little background about us. Let's go ahead and dig into some of the questions. And I know the video is going to be a little longer just because there's so many questions that we're trying to get through. We'll try and answer some of them as quick as possible. Some of them I feel like might be a little bit more in depth. We looked over most of them already, so we kind of have some sort of idea, and I wanted to kind of set it up a certain way. But yeah, let's just get into it.
All right, how long have you been in Florida, and care to share why you moved?
Yeah, so we've been here for right around 2 years. We moved July 2nd, 2022. That was our official move-in date to our apartment complex. We lived in an apartment down in Kissimmee / Celebration area. I think we showed you guys that in our like moving video.
We picked it out online, completely random, not having seen it, and we were incredibly lucky with how that turned out.
Honestly, yeah, it was crazy. We signed at a different location, and then we ended up signing. We swapped over to Camden, and hadn't seen it. Never did a tour, not even like a virtual tour or anything of the place. We're like,
they told us to watch a YouTube video.
We're like, let's just hope we show up in this place, works out, and we loved it. Oh my gosh, we loved it. But we were both from Illinois, obviously, as you just heard. And I did not want to live in Illinois any longer. I feel like a lot of my family was kind of all over the place. My sister's family is still in Illinois, and then my parents are both in Illinois. But outside of that, everybody else is elsewhere. And I actually had family down here in Orlando, so I had been down here so many times. And I loved the theme parks, but wasn't ever sure if like Orlando would be like the location we would go to. And then most of her family's still up in like the Chicago area. I mean, same thing. I feel like a lot of families, you kind of like just branch like some level away from where you guys kind of grow up. So we ended up taking a trip. We went to Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, and I think like the Carolinas. We did this real big like loop around looking for
like a week-long road trip.
Yeah, and we just kind of kept making stops at different places, and then we ended in Tennessee for like a little family vacation over in Pigeon Forge in like the Dollywood area. And that was like maybe 3 or 4 years ago we did that. And then we both really loved Orlando, and we're like, let's do it. And it was kind of a crazy decision, but I don't think like, I don't know, like I would never change it for the world, because I feel like it's been the best change, and just like the biggest change has been like friends, you know, like moving somewhere where you don't know anybody, meeting new people.
I mean, we didn't know anybody. I walked into a job not knowing a single soul besides Dillon, and it's kind of scary when you just like pick up and completely start over, and it's like I have him and he has me, and that's it. You
better be each other's best friends, otherwise it's gonna be hard. But thankfully we're very close, and you know, it was a great time. We had never lived together either, which was something kind of crazy. So like,
I know, not only did we like move in together, but we decided to move 17 hours from all of our family and friends.
1,000 miles or whatever.
Right?
It is.
Let's fully commit to doing this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were engaged at the time, but
yeah,
we were not living together, and we really just did it all at once.
We did.
But it worked out. And we said it before we moved. We're like, it's either going to go really, really well or it's going to go terribly.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, since we're making this 2-year vlog anniversary video, like it went really, really well.
There you go. So that is why we chose it. There was kind of I want to say like, you know, a dart at a board, but not really. Because, I mean, we ended up coming a few times and liking it. So we settled here. But also like, I've always loved theme parks. She really loved them kind of growing up. She had never been to Disney and Universal down here. So like that was a big shock for her to like be in the area. And obviously there's so many theme parks down here. So,
you know, I also think like back home, because we're not big like bar or nightlife people, and like Dillon doesn't love the city. I mean, I don't love it, but I'll go into it no problem. We didn't do much in Illinois. You know, and we've had this discussion before, like the people who love Chicago, they love Chicago, and there is so much to do in Chicago. But the second you remove the Chicago, and it's like, all right, well, now what do we do? There were so many nights we just like, I mean, we like mini golf, but we just hung out on the couch a lot. So moving down here with all of these like opportunities to go do things has been such a turnaround for us and our relationship, and like it's just made it so fun being able to experience these
turnaround in our relationship. Like it's bad. We've had a great relationship. What are you talking about?
Fine. Let's edit that out.
No, we're not editing it out.
Okay, I just mean like literally it was like I'd come over after work and we'd maybe like walk around the block or and then we would just kind of hang out. It was boring, but we did it for 5 years and it wasn't boring in the moment.
Correct, and that's what I was going to point out. I was like, at that time, you don't realize anything else. But now being down here in Orlando, you're like, we've talked about it, you're like, would you ever be able to move anywhere else? And it's like,
what would we do?
Yeah, what do you do?
What would we do? And
like
people are like, well, when you have kids, it'll be different. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be pushing the stroller at the park. It will be different, you're right.
Yeah, so.
Like, I'm carrying something now.
That's a big thing. And we'll make a full video in the future on like moving to Orlando and moving next to Universal and Disney, because I feel like a lot of people, you know, they want to know those things. And I feel like giving our experience, especially from somebody that like just like dove straight in. I think it'll be kind of a fun video for you guys. And then I guess as she keeps talking kids stuff, we'll just answer that question. We did have some people asking if we plan on having kids, and we do. As far as timeline, we are looking potentially at the end of this year, start of next year, to start trying to have kids. So hopefully sometime in the future, we'll introduce some kids to the channel. But
little family vlog.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep it based on the theme parks. That is something that, I mean,
maybe I'll start my own family vlog.
There you
my
go.
Family, but you have to edit it for me because I don't.
Oh no, I can't do 2.
You can do 2.
I can't do 2. All right, next question.
How long have you been married? You tell him, Dillon.
We've been married since April 22nd, 2024. Just a few months ago, we got married down here in Florida. That was definitely an interesting thing to do because a lot of her family, again, being from Chicago, and then, you know, I have family all over. We're like, what do we do? So we actually did a really small event down here in April. That was kind of a big day for us, is doing it on that day. It was also a Monday, so it was kind of hard to like invite people down. So we only had maybe like 18 to 20 people. We did it in a little farm actually over in Claremont, right outside of the Disney area. And then we actually just got back a few weeks ago from Illinois. We actually did another celebration up there, kind of just like, I guess you would call it like a reception. It was just like a big party that we then invited like friends and family to. And I think we had, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 people or whatever back home. So we kind of did a two-part system. Yeah, we did it down here because we also wanted to make sure, because we had family telling us like, you got to do it back here, you got to do it back here. And it was like,
here isn't home.
Yeah, it's like we thought about it. It's like, well, home now is Orlando and home is no longer Chicago. And I think for us, it was like, well, it feels appropriate to be married
where we see our home.
So I think that's why we ended up doing it the way that we did. But I definitely understand why people would say like, go back to Illinois, like where all your friends and family are. So
it was the best of both worlds. I mean, it was beautiful. It was great, and I'm very happy with how it turned out, and so grateful for everyone and how accommodating they were. And
yeah, my family did so much, by the way. I mean, literally without them, I don't think we would have had even a fraction of the celebration that we did. They were so good at planning everything. So
I mean, they threw the entire fiesta back home for us.
They did. My sister did like a lot of that. My parents, they honestly, they knocked it out of the park, and so thankful that it all went super well. But,
so we've only been married 3 months. April, June, July, 3.
4.
But we have been together for 7 years. So like,
yeah.
I think that's, you know, we got engaged back in 2022. So which is the day we got married on, the day we got engaged on.
Yeah.
So 2-year engagement, right? But we've been together 7 years.
Yeah. So
not married, but together.
That's a long time.
Right? It's like all my adult life.
Kind of is.
What has been the most surprising thing about running a theme park channel?
The community has been the craziest thing about everything that I've kind of seen. It's just like I'm just shocked with how nice and just cool and just like, I don't know, interesting the entire theme park community is. And that's kind of why I was pointing that out, is like people that interact with us. It's like, you know, she wasn't totally a part of the channel at first. I mean, she was a lot, but not as in-depth as she is now. And people would still like recognize and ask about her. And it was like, wow, like people genuinely care and people are just super nice. And it's been like a big shock and like a realization to be like, wow, like there's people out there that enjoy what we put out. And I think that's really cool. And to see the community grow, I think is just like awesome. But when it comes to theme parks specifically, like I said, just like anybody we meet, even if it's not people that watch us or like other vloggers, just like random people in the parks, I feel like we'll sit in like a line and like we'll just like make friends with people in line, and it's like, wow, these people are so cool. And you know,
people are a lot nicer down here than they are back home.
It feels like it, yeah. Or maybe it's just at the theme parks.
I think, you know, when it says like the most surprising thing about running the channel, like I don't do much. I don't edit. I can't hold the camera. I can't focus the camera. Like, I'll sit and I'll talk, but it really is Dillon putting in like 96% of the effort, even though like I'm his social media manager.
Are you though?
I am. I give good ideas. I don't want to do the work, but I'll give the ideas. The camera's so heavy. It is so heavy. We were filming an outro last night at Mickey's, and my hand was shaking, and it was like 45 seconds, and I gotta get better. But, you know, Dillon does run so much of it. And being at the park with him, I've been able to experience people come up and be like, hey, like, I watch your stuff. I follow you. Like, I've been watching you for a year now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, he's put so much effort and hard work and like passion into this channel, and to see people recognize him and appreciate it and like love it makes me feel like, there are the tears again, just make me so proud and so happy for him. So I think like the most surprising thing for me has been like able to experience the love and the support. And I don't say just you, because like I know I'm in the videos, but like, you know, it's Dillon Thomas. To see the people who love and who support and who watch us come up and talk to you make me so happy and so proud of you and all of like your hard work that you've done so far.
Well, thank you. And thank you guys. I agree. I think it's been just like crazy. And like, she tells me all the time, like, I feel like the first person that ever like said hi to me in a park, she was like, oh my God, like they recognized you. And she was so much more like enthusiastic than I was. Cause like in my head, I'm like, that's not real. They had to have thought I was like somebody else, right? It's like, I still feel that way sometimes when somebody's like, hey, like I watch your videos. I'm like, they probably think I'm somebody else. And it's like, I still
you
feel
sure
that
you
way
watch
sometimes.
my videos though?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't look at myself as somebody that is, you know, like big or anything. And obviously we're a small little channel here as we're growing, and it's, you know, still a lot of fun, but it's just like, I don't know. To me, it's like weird. It's like, I never imagined that I'm the person that they're actually referencing, but
you are.
I am, and it's cool.
I mean, you should see it. We're like walking down, and sometimes they'll just like call his name, and I'm like, who is that? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, wow, like they're like literally calling Dillon.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's something I've never experienced before, but I'm learning a little bit.
All right, so piggybacking off of that, somebody said that we are new vloggers in the Orlando area. What general tips do you have? And what are your thoughts on collaborating with other vloggers in the community?
The tip, I know it's cliche, do what you want to do. Like, don't create content just because you see other people creating it. Number one, it's going to be hard to stick out amongst like the millions of people that are now doing it. But I would just say, you know, if you're doing what you want to do and you're not just trying to chase like views, I think you're going to enjoy it more. If you're out there just trying to find every, you know, sort of avenue to get clicks to the channel, and, you know, just like if you're trying to like boost your subscriber count and views and whatever, but you're not liking it, then it feels kind of like a vanity metric versus like doing it because you're passionate about it and it's something that you actually want to do. And that was something I did actually struggle with early on. You know, I really enjoyed vlogging, but then it was like, okay, I got to make sure that I do the right thing. And, you know, I was so focused on like, I have to do this, I have to do this. And like, yeah, we're still at like openings of events and doing that stuff, but it's like, but we genuinely like these things. You know, it's like, we wouldn't go to Mickey's Not So Scary if we didn't like it. Yeah, it's a little early, but like, it's fun and it's like, you're in the mood. And, you know, I mean, it's definitely things that we've thought about just like in general. They're things that we would be doing anyway, and we like them. So we tag along and bring you guys with us. And so I would just say that's the biggest thing is like, do what you want to do. Don't just follow everybody else because again, there are thousands of creators out there. So finding a way that you start to connect with people is going to be kind of the best thing. And then as far as collaboration goes, I just feel like unfortunately collaborating is on its way out. I haven't seen many people do it anymore. It was definitely a thing I feel like years ago. And I have like other people, like other vloggers in the community that are like, let's do like a vlogger day. And like people are all trying to like meet up and do stuff. And they've been, you know, trying to do this for like over a year. And we just haven't made it happen. And I think it's just because it's kind of hard. Everyone's got different schedules. A lot of people, especially like smaller creators. So if you're starting out, I'm guessing this isn't your full-time job. And so that means like everybody works different hours. So it becomes really hard to like do that meetup unless you guys are all going to like this big opening event thing that you guys all know you're gonna be there. But then at the same time, you're probably trying to focus on your own content and less about collaborating. So I think it just gets hard. I don't know if you have insight. I know.
And I mean, like I said, I kind of give you all the props on it. I almost feel like I shouldn't be allowed to answer this one.
You could still give insight.
But I think like with like the meetups, you know, even at like HHN last year, there were certain points where it was like, hey, there's you, and there was like 4 or 5 people all in the community like standing around, and it's like, well, somebody wants to go to this house, but they want to go to this show, but they're gonna go to the drink. So even though there's like 5 or 6, you know, community members, creators all together, they still can't like get it together. But I understand that because everyone's doing their own stuff on their own channel, which I think goes to play with like the advice. So I definitely say like do what you love because otherwise you're not going to enjoy it as much as you could. Is vlogging both your full-time job or do you have another occupation? And how do you balance YouTube with your day job? And at what point would you be comfortable quitting to focus on YouTube?
Interesting.
I combined those because I know the answer.
We have 2 questions here. And first and foremost, no, we are not full-time YouTubers. You know, we work jobs, normal jobs outside of this. This is just kind of a passion side project thing that I do. It's hard to say when I would ever, you know, want to commit to going full-time. I already know she would never like stop doing her job to commit to the channel full-time, where I feel like I could, just because I'm really passionate about it. And if there was enough money to be made that I would make up what I make from my other job, then I would start to entertain it. And I think it's one of those things that, like, even if I was making the same, it's hard because, like, you have to understand like job security and things like that. So like you never know with like YouTube. I mean, YouTube one day could just like pull monetization or like whatever, you never know. And so I would say like I would have to be making kind of enough money to justify that, like leaving my current job. And then because the whole thing would be then that I would put so much more effort into the vlogs. I'd probably be doing like videos every day, or like every other day I would be releasing a video.
I mean, you're still doing videos like 4 times a week though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do about 3 to 4 a week typically. I kind of try to aim for that. It gets hard sometimes, but you know, if that were the case, then I would say it would probably be, dang near almost every day. I'd probably be doing 20 to 30 videos a month. And so I would, you know, be doubling down on YouTube. But
it doesn't help that I don't know how to hold the camera or edit or like help with any of this stuff either. I feel like if you were to go full time, then like I'd really have to step up my game, and I would, but like I need some classes on how to do it. That's a lot of work for just you.
Take my master class on how to vlog.
I'm looking up for Dillon's Vlogging 101.
So yeah, that's kind of the short of it. And then I guess like, so we had another question asking about other ways to support us, Patreon, channel members, things like that. And just to kind of like backpack off of that, I never thought about any of that. I never even imagined I would ever get to that point, but I have had people ask about it, and I just feel really uncomfortable taking people's money like that. Like, you know, and I guess taking money, I feel like is a bad way to phrase it, but like having somebody donate and like give me money, it's like, oh, like that, it seems like weird in some sort of aspect. Sometimes people just like want to support creators, and I think it's really appreciated that you guys, again, just like watch and comment and like, and that's, again, I always say that's the number one way to support the channel is just doing those things. If you share the videos, you like, you comment, I mean, you watch the length of the video, I mean, that all helps YouTube pretty much promote the videos, and then more views kind of helps out. So I don't make this crazy money on YouTube. Any money that we do make on YouTube is immediately reinvested into the channel to make more content for you guys. Hopefully that answers kind of all of that.
I was gonna say, like, on a non-financial note, like I enjoy going to work. I enjoy socializing. I enjoy like my colleagues and my friends and my coworkers, and you know, the work from home lifestyle isn't something I am interested in, like, at all. Like, today's a Saturday and I went into work for a couple of hours because I was able to, just because I like it. I genuinely like my job and like my place of work and who I am with. And I think leaving that to focus on like YouTube full time, even if like financially it was supportive, or possible, it would be really, really hard for me. And again, like, I don't want to be like not be a team player, and I'll do what's best for us, but I would like to continue working.
Yeah, and that's why I said, I think like, and we've already talked about that, because she was like, oh, like, would you ever, you know, do this, or like, you know, and I asked her, and I don't think she has any interest, but that's not a big deal. Not everybody wants to. So there's that.
So we are moving on to the favorites. So it's going to be like, you know, quick little speed round. Favorite Disney park?
Epcot.
Magic Kingdom. Favorite Disney ride and favorite Universal ride?
Probably Velocicoaster. Hagrid's is very close though, and then most likely Guardians over at Disney.
I would say Hagrid's for Universal, and then it's a 3-way tie between Tower of Terror, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Tower?
Space Mountain.
Tower, Space, and Guardians.
Tower, Space, and Guardians. No
we
order.
Just talked about
they all
it.
flip-flop. They all flip-flop. Top 3.
There you go. All right.
All right. Halloween or Christmas in the parks?
Honestly, Christmas. I have always been a Christmas person. My birthday is a week before Christmas. I was supposed to be a Christmas baby, and I've always loved the Christmas holiday. So it's Christmas. I love Halloween in the parks. Awesome time of year, but Christmas is just something special.
You know, it's hard. I am such a Halloween person. I love Halloween. I love costumes. I love dressing up. I love the parties, scary stuff. And I love the Halloween in the parks. But there is something magical about the Christmas performance that like these parks put on for us.
Yeah.
So although I am a Halloween girly, I think Christmas in the parks has like that 51-49% for me.
They are very close, by the way, but I think if I had to choose, I'm choosing Christmas.
Favorite snack in the theme parks? I think we're gonna be like on the same page for this one.
Dole Whip, always a classic, but the green eggs and ham booth, buffalo chicken tots, fantastic. Butterbeer though too.
Is butterbeer a snack?
I guess if we're like taking that, yeah, I don't know.
You know, like Dole Whip we love. Like I would say like Dole Whip's a treat. Like if I'm hungry, I'm like, let's go get Dole Whip. You'd be like, hold on a second.
Yeah. So I guess that's like a treat, not a snack. But I mean like treat snack. I guess if you say treat.
Right, you put it all together.
Buffalo chicken tots from Green Eggs.
That's your number one?
Yeah, number one.
Okay. I love the cheeseburger spring rolls. Love, love,
Fantastic.
love, love, love. And I also love the mini corn dogs from Casey's.
Those are really good.
So, all right, what is your favorite theme park memory?
This is kind of a cheat, but I would say anytime we ride something new or experience something new that we haven't done, because I think it is just so cool and such a fun experience. Whenever we have family or friends in town, it's like I want them to go on a ride or something because I want to see their reaction because I know my reaction. So like every single time we've ridden something for the first time, like the first time we did Velocicoaster, the first time we did Hagrid's, the first time Guardians, whatever, like when you do these attractions and you ride it, it's like, I don't know. I just want everybody to get that experience like I had. And so I feel like every single time, like it's just like, oh, and you just like live for those moments. So
for me, when we moved down here, I weighed a lot more than I do right now. And I was very, very, very nervous to ride rides at the park because of my weight and because of my body. And I had read online how Universal was not like plus size friendly whatsoever. And I had no interest in going. And I finally like admitted the reason why. And he was like, okay, like, well, let's just go and let's try out test seats. Let's ease your mind and let's see how that goes. And that was still like hard for me to want to do. And I said, okay. So we get to the park, and of course, in Florida fashion, it starts downpouring. And it's not one of those like 5-minute downpours and the sky clears up. Like, no, like it poured for the next 2 hours. And like, well, we're here, we're doing this.
Yeah.
So we go and we buy these ponchos and we walk around Islands of Adventure, probably for a good hour in the pouring rain, trying out different test seats. I mean, our butts are wet, our shoes are wet. We're playing in the rain essentially.
yeah.
But
I remember that day like vividly.
Right?
Stopping in like the Seuss area too.
I remember sitting in the Velocicoaster test seat, or just like a puddle we were just sitting in. And no one's out because all the rides are gone. All the team members are like inside. And it was this perfect opportunity for me to like face my biggest fear without anyone judging me. And again, no one is going to judge me. Nobody cares. I care. I'm in my head. And in my head, everybody's judging me. And nobody does. They're all doing their own thing there. But I think to have this day that like had weighed so heavily on me be this positive memory of us like laughing and playing in the rain and just like conquering this fear of mine while not being like afraid to be judged was such a great memory for me.
Yeah, because I feel like that like reintroduced you back into riding rides.
It did. I mean, I loved. We used to go to Six Flags, we being like me and my friends, every single Tuesday in the summer. My friend's dad would drop us off and my dad would pick us up every single Tuesday. And then like we got to a point where I was so uncomfortable riding rides because of my body, and I didn't want to risk like not being able to fit because that is my biggest fear in the world. So then going like to the theme park capital of the world and like having to potentially worry about that, it was just like, it was such a big worry that was replaced just by a fun time together and a great outcome because I didn't have to be afraid anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like so many people are afraid of the seats. Some people don't care. They're like, if I don't fit and they kick me off, it doesn't matter. And some people are like, I never want to have that experience happen to me. And there's channels out there that will show you that. And we do still try and show you guys the seats as much as possible. I know that we can't give you the exact dimensions of every single person out there, but at least we try and show you how the mechanics work and things like that. So hopefully it does help a little bit. But if you guys want to know more about her weight loss journey or anything like that, you guys can let us know in the comments below. I mean, she's lost, I feel like, dang near her entire person's worth, which is crazy. So
I think I've lost like your weight on me.
It's kind of insane. So, but yeah, we ended up doing it, and now we ride rides all the time. And I feel like she's more of the thrill junkie than I am now.
What theme park did you get tired of the quickest once you started vlogging?
Magic Kingdom, and it's only because of the transportation. I love every single theme park that we go to, hands down. They're all fun to me. Always have a good time, but Magic Kingdom, I can't stand getting there. I hate that you have to park at the TTC, take transportation over. Then when you want to go home, you got to battle to come back. If you leave at the wrong time, you're stuck waiting basically an hour just to get back to your car. And then you got to you're either walking the entire thing, you're waiting for, it's the transportation there.
I personally I'm a little over Hollywood Studios. I think the park is small and super crowded and super hot, and lines are always long, and
they're so long.
It's just not my favorite. But we love Tower of Terror though, so what do we do?
They have great attractions there, but I could see that. They have some prime attractions, and so it just increases the wait time.
If you could bring back one Disney and one Universal Studios attraction from the dead, what would it be and why?
Twister or Back to the Future. Just because I loved those rides growing up. I have memories of both of them, and I'm like, bring them back. But as far as Disney goes, I don't think anything
You talked about that Stitch ride that was scary as a kid.
Yeah, the extraterrestrial or whatever it was called at the time. But it wasn't Stitch. It was an actual alien at one time, and then I think they switched it to Stitch. That thing was creepy. I wouldn't bring it back.
And where was it? Oh, you wouldn't bring it back?
No, that thing was creepy. No.
Well, I had never been to Disney or Universal prior to moving here, so everything I see is what I know. But I do know that there is a Shrek 4D ride that was replaced by the Minions of all things.
Kept it in the family, I guess.
Minions took my Shrek away, so I would bring back that Shrek ride. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it works.
Shrek 4D.
But you say Shrek and I am in.
She probably wouldn't like it that much.
I would never admit it though.
She wouldn't.
Do you think Disney will go big at D23 against Epic Universe?
As we are recording this, they're in the middle of D23. Today is Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday, and that's our official vlogiversary, I think is the technical day. But yesterday, so Friday, they didn't announce anything that I thought was really competing with Epic that much. I thought they made some movie announcements that looked fine. They did some rides. I think there was a Thanos ride or something.
That'd be cool.
And a few other small things there, but nothing that was saying Epic's in trouble. I don't know what happened today. I'll do some research for today and then tomorrow, whatever they end up announcing. If they don't have an announcement talking about breaking ground on expansions or a new park, I don't think they're going to compete with Epic, in all honesty. I think it's...
How do you compete with a whole new theme park coming?
You've got to have a fifth gate at Disney. I don't even think if they were to introduce a villain's land attached to Magic Kingdom or something, I don't even think that's enough. I think one little land is not going to do it. It's got to be a new park, or they've got to be we've got expansions at 3 of our parks maybe. Then I could see them, starting to compete with Epic, because it's you're gonna have so much more to do. But I haven't seen anything, and I doubt we're gonna get that, but we'll see.
What is something that another Universal property has at their park that you wish Orlando could have?
The tram. I was gonna say the tram over at Universal Hollywood looks pretty sweet, and I think they had one at Orlando once upon a time when they kind of actually used the space here, but as of now, I'm I don't think anything else. I like what we've got. I mean, they have the Nintendo stuff, but we're going to be getting that with Epic. So it's I wouldn't say anything that we're already going to have. I feel with Epic, we're going to have all these crazy new things. There's also a really cool Japan parade that they do over there, and they have some really, really cool floats. So that looks pretty sweet. But I would say maybe the tram tour that they do, but I don't even know if they'd be able to do it here since we don't have really working studios anymore.
I guess I don't totally know what they have and what we're missing, so I don't totally think I could really answer this question. Yeah. Although I do know that Disneyland Paris, under the castle, they have this animatronic dragon, which I think would be so cool if we had something like that here. I think there are so many Disneys around. I would love some of those aspects to come here. Like, what did they just open, the Tangled Land over in Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. So I know it's not Universal, but I think that Tangled area would be cool. The Dragon would be cool. Pixar has...
It's like a fantasy land or something, yeah.
Or even like Avengers Campus. Like, I've been really into like Marvel stuff lately.
Unfortunately, I don't think we'll get that over here because of whatever the rights are.
Mississippi?
There was another question I did want to answer. So it was, why did you pick Universal Orlando as your main content focus? And it's an interesting question because I feel like we've been doing a lot of Universal stuff recently, and it isn't necessarily our focus. I will do any theme park, I will do any food, anything like that. Where we're at now, where we live, is a lot closer to Universal, so it's a lot easier to pop in and out of there. Not that we're far from Disney, but also like Disney just doesn't have a lot going on right now. So anytime Disney does have something going on, we'll go over there. There's a lot going on at Universal. They released a bunch of stuff for their summer events. Obviously we have HHN coming up. And just like Epic Universe, there's a lot of stuff to talk about there. So we cover everything, I feel like, when it comes to theme parks. So I know a lot of people like our Universal stuff more than our Disney stuff, and that's totally fine. Whatever you guys want to watch totally works out. But
thanks for watching.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anytime you guys watch anything, it's a huge help. But I would say like we're not just one avenue. And like I have no hate towards any of the companies, SeaWorld, Busch, Disney, Universal.
We love Busch.
I love going to all of the parks. I hope they all succeed because at the end of the day, if one is doing well, then the others want to compete with them. So between like Disney and Universal specifically, I feel like if Disney is doing well, that means Universal needs to answer. If Universal does well, Disney has to answer, which means that guests like you and me get to have a better experience. So we're not just focused on Universal, but I could see where it feels like that right now just because there's so much happening at Universal that we're just there a lot right now. But I would never say that we're like specifically only one brand or whatever. We love all of the parks. And I know we've been critical of Disney, but that's only because we love the parks. And it's just like we want to see them really step their game up, where I feel like Universal has been like really listening to their guests, and it's just been a really good time. So yeah, hopefully that answers that. We love all of them, and hopefully they all do well. Even Fun Spot and stuff like that. And that's always good too.
All right, do you have Cameo and do video shoutouts?
No, kind of going back to like the Patreon thing or whatever. It's hard for me because it's like I don't feel like it's weird. I just don't feel like I'm like this like big person or anything like that. So we don't really do anything crazy like that. I mean, if you ever want us to say hi or something in the park, I mean, obviously we would, but nothing like specific or paid or anything like that.
What do you like to do outside of the park?
We're pretty basic people, to
Yeah,
be honest.
we're boring.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we watch movies. You know, we've been actually into movies a lot recently, so we'll watch some movies. I play some games on my computer. She likes to read and
Go to the
swim.
pool.
Yeah, and
I mean, I don't like to swim. I like to like sit in the
Yeah.
pool while
Hang
I
out by
read.
the pool.
There we go.
So-
I'll be in it, but I'm not.
we like to play with our cats.
We do like to play with our cats. I'll bring them over since somebody asked, "How are the cats?"
Yeah, we love to play with the cats. That's our side gig. I don't know, you know, we hang out, and I guess like whatever you're doing in your free time, we're probably kind of similar, I would assume. But we do spend a lot of time at the parks, and I think like that is our free time. A lot of times we just go for like an hour or two. That's just kind of how we operate. Here's Callie, this is our newest one. She's sleepy right now. They were like wild earlier. But,
sweet right now.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Let me look at.
Whatever they're doing.
Hey.
Nicole wants to go grab the cats. Just a few more things here. So here's some HHN stuff. I don't want to talk too much about it because I still have a lot of videos coming out for HHN. We got asked a lot, what is your HHN hype list? And we'll have a video for it. That's the only thing I could really say. I don't want to talk too much about it. That can go way too long. I know this video is already going to be pretty long. Favorite HHN house so far? I would say probably Yeti was really good too, though. I really liked Yeti. Probably the Monsters Legends Collide. That would be my favorite there. Do you like horror movies? I don't love them. It's not even probably a top 3 category for me, which is crazy because like I love HHN, but I feel like HHN is an experience. It's not super duper scary in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like it's just like an awesome experience. Where she likes horror movies, but
I
not
do.
alone.
I mean, they're not like top 3, but I don't like watching them alone. I feel like They are a little scary by yourself. I think I've always really enjoyed the monster houses. Those were good. Loved the Exorcist house, but like Yeti was a lot of fun too. But so was the Halloween house. So there's 5 houses I like. So
yeah, I think if I had to say, I would do Legends Collide. That was just such a cool house, and the scares were like, those were gnarly. What is your opinion on Ireland? Any plans to come to the UK? And would you like to visit Costa Rica for future travel videos? Never really looked at Costa Rica, not because I don't want to go there, but I just think it was never something on the radar. But it would be cool to visit, probably via cruise or something. The UK and Ireland, I would say the UK, I think because you guys have so many parks like Thorpe Park, you guys obviously have Universal coming soon. So maybe when Universal opens their park over there, maybe we'll plan a trip over there. And then Ireland, we kind of weirdly talked about it recently.
Very recently.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, but I don't know, like, it's hard, like, do you just like take a trip to Ireland, or do you kind of go like visit everything over there?
I feel like if you're making your way like out to Europe, you kind of got to experience more than one, since, you know, all the countries are like on top of each other.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more cool to do like a Mediterranean cruise. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard great things about them.
A bunch of ports and like different locations all at once. I'll go anywhere. Let's try something.
I know. Hopefully we'll do more like outside of the States travel. We have a few things planned already this year, going into next year and stuff, but Japan is still something that is on my bucket list. I don't know when we'll get out there, but hopefully that is something that we can do at some point. But yeah, I think that's most of them. I think somebody was also asking about, you know, any tips for like a new creator or like a new vlogger, or like that wants to get into it. And I kind of answered it earlier, but another thing is too, like, just start creating, you know, just start making videos, start posting them, and listen to your audience. If they're liking it, or, hey, I can't hear this, I can't see this, you know, this is weird or whatever, you just kind of like pick up on that. But I think I already kind of mentioned, you know, sticking to yourself and doing things that you want to do. So I think that's pretty much it. I know there were some questions. I'm sorry if we didn't get to everything. I just know this video, I can already see the timer. It's very long, and I appreciate you guys, you know, listening and hearing our story. Yeah, it's really cool to see that you guys were so invested in this. So hopefully it'll be up. This will be kind of the new channel, you know, video once you come in. So now we've officially made the Dillon Thomas intro video here. So
2 years later.
2 years later, a little late, but you know, better late than never, right?
There you go.
What do they say? You know, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is today, or something. Isn't that how that phrase goes?
I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's like,
But I believe you.
yeah, it's like even if you didn't do it a while ago, like you're better to start now than to wait. I
Okay.
think that's how it goes. Something like
Google
that.
it.
Google it. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and hopefully.
Thank you for the support and the love and
yeah, absolutely.
the comments and the suggestions over the past 2 years. And you know, we wouldn't be sitting here right now doing an About Me video if it wasn't for you guys caring.
I know, and I think that's another thing, is like you guys have given me some awesome ideas for videos, and it's been really cool. So hopefully you guys will continue to support us, and yeah, anytime the next adventure comes, you guys will know about it. We do have some fun stuff coming up. I will tell you, we do have a cruise. That is one thing. We'll just slip in here. In October, we are doing Utopia of the Seas. So you guys will be able to see the brand new ship. It is going to be a pretty exciting one. And we have some other stuff planned. We'll make those announcements later, but the next thing that you can expect for kind of this like big trip kind of vibe will be Utopia in October. Short little one. I think it's only 3 nights for this one. But yeah, it'll be cool to try a brand new ship and
It will be cool.
give you guys our thoughts on it. So thank you guys for hanging out with us today in this home vlog, and hopefully we answered all of your questions. Maybe we'll do another one of these in 2 more years or something. I don't know. But,
We'll see.
Yeah, if you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, or anything, theme parks, travel, anything like the sorts, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care.
care.